Welcome everyone to What the Force, and we are back again with the Ninth Jedi for Star Wars Visions. And with me to cover this is Hammy.
Hi, everyone.
All right, let's dig in.
So The Ninth Jedi is by the studio production IG, and the summary is, the daughter of a lightsaber smith is pursued by dark forces while on a dangerous mission. So this was another one that was very much hyped. Excited. Yeah. Everyone was very excited for.
What did you think of it?
I absolutely loved it. I loved or Kira or Rey. That's all I could think about the entire time. I was like, Kira, Rey. That's
yeah.
I really loved it. There were so many aspects to this. Obviously all the lightsaber lore, all of that. But then my favorite part is obviously her finding her connection to the Force. It's always going to be that. That's always going to be the draw.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really love the setting itself. It's like the Jedi are lost, right? Darkness is living throughout the galaxy, and sort of the ruler of a planet is taking it on himself to try and bring back the Jedi. And it's like, how can you tell the light from the dark in these settings, like when things are not always as they appear? That's sort of like an overarching idea that is throughout this episode that I just loved. I loved Cara as well, just being a young innocent girl who is just trying to help her father, who's played by Simu Liu in the English version. Oh, he does such a good job of the lightsaber smith, and the Margrave, who's the ruler of the planet, who she's known since she was a kid. But in the end, it's her own journey.
Right, exactly.
Right? It's not these other things that these other people are trying to do. It's her own story and the adventure that she ends up going on.
Exactly. I love
so good.
It was perfect. Exactly what we want. One big thing that this episode kind of discusses through Kara's story is the importance of training versus experience versus developing your own connection to the Force.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Okay. A lot of people seem to think that training is very important, but over the course of a few hours, not even, we see Cara come into her own and develop a connection with the Force because it calls to her, it's asked of her, and she takes up the saber and she does the right thing. I don't know. I just love that's not the importance, the training and importance. And it kind of, it's hinted a little bit when her father is kind of watching her before the saber changes color, that he knows that she is destined for something else. When she says, I wonder what it'll look like when a Jedi wields it. And he kind of just gives her a knowing look, and he's like, come on, it's gonna be.
Yeah, and I always get bothered by this because of how much the specific word training gets thrown around as why doesn't this random woman have enough training to be competent? Well, that's just sexist, right? How it's being played out,
right?
But what is being said over the course of this short is that it is developing the connection that you have, right? Everybody has a connection, but if you focus on it and you spend time developing it, Cara does this without a master, develops it without any formal training, because she's thrown into experiences and that she must learn how to develop that connection through her experiences and through the trials that she goes on, which is so incredibly heroine's journey, that the power has always existed within her the whole time.
Exactly.
But that she is able to uncover it through the trials and the experiences that she goes on. What? Yes,
that's exactly what we want. It's not about a training montage. It's something, I think it feels more humanistic and real.
Right. So anyone that goes to university and then enters the workforce knows that they will learn more in the first year of their work to do with their chosen job about the real world than about being in college or university for 4 years.
Yup.
right?
Tell him, MC.
Like, quite literally, yes, training is important. Focus and practice is important, especially when you're thinking about things like martial arts or fighting with a lightsaber. However, actually knowing how to deal with situations or how to find the strength within is in many ways, you're only going to deal with it by having conversations with yourself, thinking on your own, right? So meditating or having that time with yourself and experiencing the world and being put through difficult problems and situations. You're going to expand more with more things that push yourself.
And Kara is literally pushed. Her father has literally pushed her out into the real world to face her journey and to face her trials. Another aspect right after that I loved when she's being chased by the Jedi hunters.
The Jedi hunters.
Right,
yeah,
exactly. The Jedi hunters coming after her, and then she's able to kind of fend him off a little bit, and then he just drops the one line, "Oh shit, this child is strong with the Force," and I was like, "Yes, she is." And then that's all you need to know.
Yeah, and it's not about it wasn't even. And it was because she was so young, too, that she was also able just to connect with the Force without any barriers or impediments. Like this small short gave me so much emotionally that felt right.
It really, I think each of, not just the short, but all of them, they feel so in tune with what we think about of the Force and what we think it stands for and the lessons that can be learned from it. So I just appreciated it all, and especially in this one.
Yeah. I really loved that the lightsabers themselves, like the sabersmith tempered the crystals. So he himself had some sort of ability with the Force, right? And this seems like some sort of lost art or something that he has reinvented because of bygone ages, like we're way, way, way far in the future.
Right.
Given the crystal the ability to attune instantaneously to the user or the wielder and give the lightsaber its own unique characteristics and look. And so we even got like some like kind of kendo swords with like a hilt on some of them. We got really interesting looking ones that were really unique. And each individual one reflected the user, which also allowed us for our really cool reveal with that it wasn't the Jedi that showed up to the call of the Mulgrave. It was the Sith.
Yes, that reveal of the red lightsabers was so on point. When we first see Kara playing with it, I was wondering too. I was like, "Oh, why is it black?" I thought it was like the black saber for the dark saber. I was like, "What's going on here?" But then she says, "Oh, it's devoid of color because it hasn't been chosen yet, right? Or she hasn't been chosen yet." And then, of course, it does happen for her as well, where it becomes green as she's fighting the Sith. So it's just really cool lightsaber lore. Going back to her dad, what you had mentioned that he has some skill, the artistry of. It feels so like old world legends of like having a light, of blacksmith being really important, just as important as the knight. And there's this it's kind of like honoring the weapon. A Jedi's weapon deserves more respect.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going back to that where he's creating it and forging the weapon. I think when he first gets attacked by the Sith, by the Jedi hunters, I think he puts up his hand to block a shot when Kara's running away. So I think it does show that he's a little bit Force sensitive as well.
Which also shows us, hey, people that are Force sensitive can have babies.
Oh, we do like that.
Sorry, I like it.
Yes, we do.
Give me and I totally ship Ethan and Kara now.
Oh, they're adorable. They are very adorable.
I'm like, they're gonna go off on an adventure and then like have an awkward kiss in an airlock somewhere. Like
they've already got the matching ponchos.
I know, right? Oh, let's talk just a moment about ponchos. This, like, her poncho is so cute, but they both have ponchos because having a poncho is the first step to being a Jedi.
It totally is. Spot the ponchos. That's the game in all of these.
Spot the ponchos, yes. Or I have a bad feeling about this, which
they
showed up a bunch.
That was very heavily used.
Yeah, that was heavy-handed. Way more heavy-handed than the Wilhelm scream, which was only used once.
Yeah. So I mean, this is just a side note, but I thought the whole world itself, the kyber crystal fishing that happens in the beginning, that's so cool that you just they have the little catapult that reels that is like serves as a reel to catch I guess it's like the meteors or the asteroids that are floating around the planet, and those within them have the kyber crystal, and then she pulls it down, and then she's like, oh, I got a big one, Dad, this time. And then she goes in, and kind of the innocence that she doesn't know that she's going to be called to the Force, that she's just kind of like, I hope the Jedi are able to do this. I don't know. It just reminded me so much of Rey. I hope this next person will be able to do this. When I know it's you, Cara. You get to do it.
Absolutely. The world itself was very cool. The aerial temple that in the end gets revealed to have that look of being a lightsaber hung in space, which was such a cool, wonderful visual reveal. And then, the world being this place where it's like it's desert and arid and has nothing but the spark, these little bits of power that can bring hope back to the galaxy. And this is where this hero is coming from the wastelands, from the abyss. And she herself has an important role to play, like you said. I also I loved 49's, who's the little droid that's like following her around, the little mini droid. I love their relationship. Like, literally give me more little miniature droids.
There were so many cute ones in Visions.
So many cute little baby droids. This was really like too much for my droid heart, I think, in so many ways, because there's so many of them and they were so adorable and I want them all. But I fell in love with the old pilot droid that's just sitting there having his coffee.
He was hilarious. I cracked up, and it because this was for the most part, this was like a really serious episode, but those little shots of humor, like, oh, they were perfect. Where she's, it kind of reminded me of in Zootopia when they have to deal with the sloth, and so she's kind of like, "Hurry up, man! Hurry up! And then he's like not going, and it was so cute.
It's like, you're like literally the only one that's functional. Come on,
right? They're all like keeled over.
I might as well. And then he has the one-liner when she like comes into her own, and he is the eyes of the audience in that moment when she's kicking the Sith butt on the aerial temple. He's like, nice moves. Like, yes.
I just love. It was so natural the way that all of these droids were kind of included. That, I don't know. They weren't just like an afterthought of like, oh, we need droids. No, they each kind of had a purpose, like him helping her on her journey, like taking her up to the aerial temple.
Yeah. And this episode in and of itself, I felt like did the best version of establishment and world building. I mean, voiceovers are a way to get into that, but actually like showing the world, showing the kyber crystal fishing, the asteroids out of the sky, showing the aerial temple, establishing where she was, like all of it was just so good and solid and felt Star Wars. Nothing about this didn't feel Star Wars.
No, it totally did. And it was really good at, like you said, kind of giving a start to finish. It felt like a whole movie, or kind of the jumping off point of the first movie in the first trilogy, right? Like she leaves home, she takes the call to adventure. She, all of that is kind of handled in like this short frame of time. And it was really cool to see that.
And there was two moments, which I wanted to call out because so she's given a lightsaber and the rest of the lightsabers to bring on the journey and go through her trials. But then she's given another reward, which is the actual color of the lightsaber when she faces off and sort of comes into her own. And that like kind of two-step piece is you're given the boon, right? The boon of success, but then you're given like the ultimate boon later on, once you've been through a bunch of your trials, to carry you on forward to the rest of the adventure.
Right. And taking that, and I was going to say, and taking that out into the galaxy, right? And presenting that to the rest of the galaxy, taking that boon. So I kind of saw that where, this is going a little bit early, but the end of the episode when when Margrave says to her, "Oh, we can go out into the rest of the galaxy and find the rest of the, like, hope is not lost. I can sense the rest of the Jedi are still there." And so I don't know, it just felt like a cool like ending point or beginning point.
To me, it was like, this is just the start of like a full season, isn't it? Or a movie. Like, I want to see where they go. I want to go see them rescue her dad. I want to go see, as these adventures develop, I want to go see the complexity of other Sith that come back, and like I would watch this whole show.
Definitely. I was going to mention the fact that her dad gets taken and then going to have to rescue him, reminds you of Jin as well. But I was going to say that whole aspect about mentors and like losing your mentor and losing that older, figure in your life so that you can become the hero in the journey that happens several times in Visions throughout this. Those kinds of like iconic things that we kind of associate with Star Wars. I don't know. I just really like that they were able to kind of use that in each of these stories. It felt so Star Wars to have those kinds of aspects too. Like they didn't have to do that, the whole sacrifice and, all of the themes just felt very connected to Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. And also like the fact that they brought one of the Jedi back, like the Sith back, also was cool, and that he had a purple lightsaber, and then we're reminded of sort of Mace Windu, and like it just, everything felt good about this particular episode.
I think I forgot what it was the eagle looking bird-like Sith that I think Margrave, I think he must have known him, so he says his name and he says pull back from the dark side, and I love also the whole purple lightsaber, which I don't know, I mean, it was mostly Mace Windu because Samuel L. Jackson wanted purple, but in this it felt very much like, oh, he's right in the middle, red and blue together makes purple, and so because the colors can change on the lightsaber, his changes and it becomes purple. It's so good. It goes from red to purple, and I just love that.
Yeah, and that these choices are not permanent too. That felt good too. Cara, where's your trilogy? I want to watch it.
We both do.
All right, Hammy, any other thoughts on this one?
No, I loved it. It was awesome. And I love Cara.
Yeah. The last thing I want to say is that like the main theme of appearances can be deceiving was like riddled throughout this thing. And I just want to call out the examples, which is like the Margrave was hidden inside of the large droid, right?
Oh yeah, that was a reveal. Yep.
Right. Cara being more powerful than she gave herself credit for, or really anyone else gave her credit for. The pretend Jedi, so the Sith being kind of like hidden in things, and then the truth is revealed under the lightsaber and the truth of the light, right? That you cannot hide from the light was such a cool idea. And really this just feels like the start of a quest that they're about to go on, and like we've said, we'll watch it any day. Lucasfilm, just tell the story. You've sold us. All right. This was the wrap up of The Ninth Jedi. Hammy, where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter @BalancePadawan.
Awesome.